I pretty much just want to go over the pre-market game plan going into tomorrow and then a daily recap of today. So as always, just keep this quick, clean, and simple. Now, as you can see, right, this is really good. Coming into today, right, we were looking for pullback longs. Like I've said, we are not looking to short this name. Obviously, the overall market is in a very big uptrend. And as you can see here in the after hours, right, we're breaking above this channel and all-time high. So tomorrow's game plan, break, retest, continuation higher, right? That is literally what we are looking for. Now, like I've said, when we are trading all-time highs, right, what I like is I need a very clean displacement candle, right? I don't want to break in base because then that could be, a bull fake out. It could be a liquidity grab and so on, right? So I don't want to get caught in a bull trap. I need a good clean displacement candle on the intraday and then that retest, buyer stepping in and pushing this thing higher, right? But this is really good, right? Like I said, consolidation, right, in an uptrending name is very normal, right? It has to consolidate after it goes on a very large run, right? Consolidate for a little bit before it continues this next leg higher or lower. But what I do like is, we had FOMC today and we didn't see a sell-off, right? That's all I really cared about. There was no sell-off. So this is very healthy. For this name, still just looking for pullback longs, but tomorrow's game plan is a break and retest above this 673.10, or if we do decide to have a pullback day, right, a pullback long off this 669 or the 667.35. Qs, beautiful. I mean, there was divergence today on Qs and SPY pretty much the entire day. But once again, this is very healthy, right? We're out of this channel, right? We're out of this channel. That's exactly what we want to see. So the game plan coming into today, right, was a break and retest really above the 609.7, targeting new highs, or a break and retest above the 607.15, targeting all-time highs, and then continuation higher. And that's exactly what happened today. Let's just zoom in here on the intraday, right? I mean, beautiful, right? Break, retest, continuation higher. I don't trade this late into the session, but if you would have got that break and retest, you can see it was held up by the buyers. Now coming into tomorrow, right? As you can see, this is now the top of a range, right? So what do we want? We want a pullback long, right? Retesting this and then target this previous day high and so on. If we don't get a pullback to this previous all-time high, right? What are we looking for? Same thing as SPY, right? Good displacement candle, right? Good displacement candle, retest, continuation higher. That's exactly what we're looking for on the Q. So very good hold up today and just looking for continuation higher. Tesla, right? Today was really not much on Tesla. As we know, Tesla's my favorite, but what I love about this is setting up, right? All week. If you watch my previous videos in the pre-market plan, all week, my only two key levels have been this 445 and this 423. Everything in the middle of this is noise. Now, coming into tomorrow, which was the same game plan as today, I'm looking for a break and retest over this 445, targeting the top of this range, clear RR trade here, very good RR trade, or a break and retest under 423.15, targeting, right, the bottom of this range, right? That's a good RR trade as well. Now, why do I like these two? One, right? We don't do channels. There's nothing in here. I don't want to be in that, right? There's nothing in there. As you can see, every time we get in here, we just chop around. This is not clean price action, right? That's a low probability environment. So what am I looking for? Break over 445, a short under 423. What I do like about it coming into tomorrow is a pretty good confluence. Why? Because if we get a break and retest over this 445, we are also over, right, the previous day high. Right, that means price is continuing higher. We're outside of the range and we're breaking outside of this channel. I love that. That's a good confluence. If we break under this 423.15, what does that mean? We're under the previous day low and we're outside of this channel, right? That is a high probability setup to the downside. Like I said, higher time frame is still intact, so not really looking to short this name, but I never come into the day mirroring a bias. I'm open to both sides. But this is the A plus trade, right? We saw it on Monday. We never really got that retest, right? But it did run, right? So coming into tomorrow, I'm looking for that same thing. This is the key level to watch here on Tesla to the upside, this 445. AMD. So I've said I want to let price develop here for a while. I'm not really looking to do anything on this name. Let's just let price develop. Now, today, the game plan. If you were looking at this name, I said you can take a break and retest over previous day high, right? Because we're not looking to short this name. It's making all-time highs. It's continuing higher. So is the overall market. Break and retest over previous day high. If you would have caught this trade, I mean, it doesn't get more textbook than that, right? You probably would have had an instant retest here, but look how beautiful this was, right? I mean, that's textbook, right? Break and retest, previous day high, target this first swing high, hold some of your runners, and this would have made you a lot more on your runners. That is textbook, right? So coming into tomorrow, right? Game plan. And this today was a big day on AMD. Today was a very big day. Let's zoom out here on the daily and I'll show you why. Right? On the daily, this was the previous all-time high, this 227.30. That is a big break. Look at how strong this bullish momentum candle got. Now, what do we want to see tomorrow? We want to see a candle form. Sorry, give me one sec. We want to see a candle form above this, right? That's what we want to see, and see this previous all-time high now turn into support. So for me, I really like this, right? Pull back to previous all-time high, targeting the previous day high and looking for continuation higher. That is a textbook play. I like that. So main game plan for me coming into tomorrow is a pullback long off this 227.30. I don't really like taking trades off of previous day highs and previous day lows just because for me, right, those key levels don't hold as much strength as these daily time frame key levels and weeklies and so on. So, but right, if you want to look for a break and retest over this previous day high and continuation higher, that is a good shot too. But this, right, this is the A plus setup. That is beautiful. We want to see this previous all-time high turn into support, right? If we fall under this, we're not really looking to short this name. The only way I look to short this name is if we fall under this tomorrow, right, to the downside. We're under a 4-hour support, term resistance, and under the previous day low. That is a good setup to the downside. I doubt we'll see it, but if it sets up, that's a good shot too. NVDA, right? So, like I've been saying all week, right? Tomorrow's Thursday. It's crazy how fast this week is gone. These were the two key levels, right? This weekly 184.50 and this 188.15. I said we want to see this step up, right? If we see this 184 fell, right, that's a break of structure. Buyers defended this, and now we're pushing right back towards all-time highs. So found a new key level today, right? As price develops over time, you know, these key levels appear. So in the 4-hour, we clearly have a 189.40. I'll show you that really quick. I just want you to see what I'm seeing, right? We have a 189.40. This is a key level in the 4-hour, right? Which to the damage body tells the story, as you can see here, right? Push into here, reject, push, reject, push, reject. Which to the damage body tells the story. We get a body candle closure here, and then right here on the dot as well. So this 189.40 is a key level on the 4-hour. Now, what do I like about this? One sec. What do I like about this? This is a beautiful setup, right? That we see, right? Break, right? Retest, targeting, all-time highs. That is beautiful, right? Buyers stepped in down here, defended this weekly support level, and look what happened, right? We pushed all the way back up. That is textbook. So coming into tomorrow, the only thing I'm looking for on NVIDIA is a break and retest over 189.40. Look at this RR trade, right? If we can finally get some continuation now that FOMC has passed, right? That is a beautiful shot towards all-time highs, right? You can also look for this 188.15 pullback long. That is a valid trade as well, but you will be going long into a 189.40 resistance level. That's still a good RR trade. You're still intact with the higher time frame, but I'm looking for this 189.40. Why? Because it's a good confluence. This is a clearly, right, it's starting to form a channel, right? A clear resistance level on the 4-hour. And if we get a break and retest over this, this is also over the previous day high. Those are good confluences for me. That price is continuing higher, a high probability shot targeting all-time highs. Apple. Today was a very big day on Apple. This actually set up. I didn't take this trade because I already took a trade on NVIDIA. I'm very big on being one and done. And in the intraday, I really didn't like the price action that much. But the game plan coming into today was a break and retest over 257.35, targeting all-time highs, right? You can see here. Let's zoom in. Once we got that break and retest, right, we defended that very well. I always say, right, you want to treat your key levels like mini zones, right? Beautiful break, retest, and buyers defended this the entire day. We never fell back under that. So I've been saying this for a while. We barely, right, getting this daily candle closure above this. So this long shot to the all-time highs is still intact, right? Still intact to the upside. So coming into tomorrow, right, I want to see this, right, pull back long off this 257.35. That is a valid trade, right? You can look for that, right? Target previous day high, right? Scale out there, and then look for continuation to all-time highs, right? So this is a very big play that is still intact, right? If we fall under this 257.35, right, we are not looking to short this name. We are not looking to short this name. Another possibility that I've been thinking about with Apple is if we decide, I mean, we never know, right? There's been a lot of stuff going on pre-market. If we gap up pre-market and we take out the all-time high, and we already took out all this liquidity up here in the all-time high, I'm just going to be hands-off on this name, right? I'm not really looking to trade it after it already, you know, completed its objective, which is gravitating towards all-time highs, right? So look out here on the 1-hour, right? This is setting up very nicely. It's very slow, right? We don't do channels. What are we starting to do now today? Today was a big day, right? Look at the past 2 days, stuck in this channel, right? Today, we finally got above this candle, above this channel, and price finally closed above. So tomorrow, right, this is a high probability setup. We're outside of the range, right? We finally got above this 257.35. Now we're looking for a pullback long targeting all-time highs. Palantir, right? Today, pretty much nothing. Like Palantir was probably the only thing that really didn't do anything. I mean, that's nasty, right? So as we know, right, we don't want this, right? You see that price action we had today? That's why we stay out of channels and out of ranges, low probability environments. So higher time frame, still intact, right? If you look at this, right, we are stair stepping higher, right? This was a big day. Didn't do much today, but it didn't sell off, right? That's a good thing. We are not that far away from all-time highs. So what are we looking for tomorrow? Really a long over 184.50, targeting the top of this range, and then hopefully price can gravitate towards all-time highs.